you don't know how much work it takes to get a book on the bestseller list. Like, it is super hard to sell books these days.
Before we go on Portrait of a Thief, I don't want to interrupt you. I'm sorry. When I got into the industry, in the background, not as an author, but supporting authors and managing authors, the question that my clients always had is, Jonathan, how do I get on the New York Times bestseller list? And I've got 40 different answers. Some was politics. Some was, if you buy your book in bulk, that doesn't count. You need 10,000 sales, which sounds like nothing, but people don't read, unfortunately.
10,000 is a strong number.
It's a strong number. I just got my first from Manor Books, which is an imprint from HarperCollins. We just got our first numbers, and man, I was happy, but they're not happy. And that plays based off how much your advance is, right? You know,
Absolutely.
because if the advance is high, even if you sell this amount a month, they didn't get their money back, so it doesn't matter, right? Can you talk to me about the New York Times bestseller list, the process? How does it really work? But I want the real, Amber. I want the real answer about how this industry, I want the exclusive. Do not play. Give it to the professional winner family. Talk to us about the New York Times bestseller list before we get into Portraits of a Thief in detail.
You know, it's crazy that you want the scoop from me, who does not work at New York. Because I do not have the info. In fact, the New York Times has not released this information to anyone. It is a trade secret for them about how they curate, and this is curation, how they made the New York Times list. There are 15. I work in hardcover initial format, so the list that I'm most likely looking at for my books to hit is on the hardcover list. Fiction and nonfiction are on the same page. There's 15 slots for each category, fiction and nonfiction, right? So there are very few books that can make it every week. Yeah. And we get the internal employees at all publishing houses get the New York Times list early, around 5 p.m. on Wednesdays. We cannot share that with outside sources, but of course this is information we need, right? But we don't have any numbers from them, like what they're tracking or how they're tracking it. We just know if they're tracking it or if they're not. That's it. And then we can only go on our internal information. Where did this sell at Walmart? Where did this sell at Target? Where did this sell at B&M? Where did this sell at Amazon? Once those numbers come in, we can guesstimate if it'll hit the list. You know, there are certain thresholds that make you get on the list, but those change every week. They change every week. And they change depending on how many books are out that Tuesday. All books publish on Tuesdays. So, you know, there's no real formula. The thing that does get books on lists in fiction are book clubs. Book clubs have been a huge driver of readers to books, because that's where a lot of people are finding their recommendations. They want somebody to curate for them. It just makes the process easier for a lot of readers. And I get it. Does it make me sad? Yes. But that's what gets a lot of books on the list in fiction. You know, Reese Witherspoon's book club, Jenna Hager's book club,
Oprah.
On the Today Show, Oprah's book club. Book of the month. Those are
One day the Athletes Book Club. We'll talk about that off camera.
Good Morning America.